Sometimes the world crushes a woman in front of everyone, but the right person comes quietly, watering the parts of her she thought were dead. The sun burned over Accra, but destiny felt frozen. She stood in the center of a glamorous hotel courtyard, the place where elite businessmen and politicians often gathered. Her husband, Richard Titi, a wealthy real estate giant, pointed at her with a rage that sliced deeper than any knife. "This woman," he shouted. "This is the wife I trusted? A liar, a cheat, a disgrace." Gasps filled the air. Phones came out. People recorded. Some whispered. Some smirked. Destiny's chest tightened. Her knees trembled. But the worst part was the tiny hand holding her dress. Her 4-year-old daughter, Dorothy, clung to her, confused and frightened. "Mommy, what's happening?" the little girl whispered. Destiny could barely form words. "Richard, please, let's talk inside, not here," she begged softly. But Richard wanted drama. He wanted distraction. He accused her of cheating. He claimed she was carrying another man's child. A complete lie. He said she was unfit to be a mother. Destiny cried silently. Not because his accusations were true, but because of how loudly he shouted them. By nightfall, her bank accounts were frozen. Her car was taken. Her clothes were thrown out of his mansion like trash. And the man she loved for 7 years turned his back without guilt. All she had left was Dorothy. And a suitcase too small to hold her broken life. Destiny moved into an old family house in Kumasi. A quiet place with peeling paint, creaking doors, and memories she wasn't sure she wanted to revisit. For months, she struggled. She cried at night. She barely ate. And she avoided mirrors. She couldn't face the woman she had become. But she kept going. For Dorothy. Every morning, she walked her daughter to Bright Steps Academy, a small nursery school filled with colorful drawings and happy children. One morning, the headmistress stopped her. "Destiny," she said kindly, "we need an assistant teacher. I see how you care for Dorothy and the other kids. Would you like the job?" Destiny hesitated. From being a millionaire's wife to earning a small teacher's salary, life had stripped her of pride. But she needed this new beginning. "Thank you," she whispered. "I'll do it." And just like that, her healing began. 3 weeks later, the school buzzed with excitement. A team of UK volunteers had arrived to help with new children's programs. But one name kept echoing through the halls. Oliver Bennett, a 34-year-old British educational volunteer. Tall, humble, with soft brown hair and warm blue eyes that made people feel safe without saying a word. Destiny met him in the playground. He sat on the grass while children splashed paint across a big white sheet. "All right, little artists," he laughed. "Make it messy, make it fun." Destiny watched, surprised. He wasn't just teaching. He was making the children feel seen. Oliver noticed her and stood. "You must be Miss Destiny," he said with a gentle smile. "I've heard wonderful things about you." Her heart jumped. Nobody had said wonderful about her in a long time. "I'm just doing what I can," she replied shyly. But Oliver saw past the strong front. Day by day, Oliver became part Day by day, Oliver became part of the school's rhythm. He wasn't loud or flashy. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He simply cared. He repaired broken toys, donated new learning materials, played football with the children, told them funny stories about London rain and double-decker buses. Dorothy adored him. One afternoon, Destiny found him kneeling next to her daughter. Dorothy was giggling as he tied her shoes. Oliver looked up. "Oh, she asked for help. Hope you don't mind." Destiny smiled softly. "No, thank you. She's shy around new people, but she likes you." "And I like her," he replied warmly. "She's a bright, sweet girl." Destiny felt something inside her shift. A small crack in the wall she built around her heart. But fear quickly tried to seal it again. She wasn't ready to trust. Not after Richard. Not after the humiliation. Not after losing everything. But Oliver didn't push. He simply stayed. Gentle, steady, patient. He recognized the sadness hiding behind her smile. One late afternoon, Destiny stayed behind to organize the art room. The quietness felt peaceful. Oliver walked in holding a box of crayons. "Oh, I didn't know you were still here," he said. She smiled faintly. "I'm just straightening up." He paused. Destiny was arranging tiny handmade paper flowers from the kids' craft session. She touched each one softly, like each was a living child she needed to protect. Oliver watched her. Really watched her. The kindness in her hands, the gentleness in her movements, the beauty in her quiet strength. He whispered to himself, "She waters everything she touches, even though no one watered her." Destiny turned and caught his gaze. "Is something wrong?" she asked. Oliver shook his head slowly. "No, everything's right." Her heart skipped. She looked away quickly. "Good night, Mr. Bennet." "Good night, Destiny," he replied softly. And from that moment, something invisible took root between them. Something quiet. Something deep. Something neither of them fully understood yet. Love. But not the loud kind. The kind that grows, like roots under soil. Destiny woke up before sunrise. The house was quiet. Dorothy was still asleep, hugging her small teddy bear. Birds chirped softly outside the window. Destiny sat at the edge of her bed, hands clasped together. For the first time in months, her heart felt strange. Not heavy, not broken, just unsure. Her thoughts replayed last night, the way Oliver had looked at her. Not with pity, not with judgment, but with something warm, something she hadn't felt in years. She shook her head quickly. "No," she whispered to herself. "I'm not ready. I can't go through heartbreak again." She stood up, dressed Dorothy for school, and forced a smile. But deep inside, a seed had already been planted. At Bright Steps Academy, Destiny walked into the classroom and found something unexpected on her desk. A small paper bag, neatly folded, with her name written on it. She hesitated, then opened it. Inside was a brand new set of professional coloring pencils, The expensive ones she used to dream of buying for the kids, but could never afford since Richard cut her off financially. There was a note. For your flowers, Oliver. Destiny's heart tightened. Not because of the gift, but because he noticed the little things she loved. The things she thought nobody saw. Oliver entered a moment later, slightly shy. Good morning, he said. Destiny met his eyes. Thank you. You didn't have to. I wanted to, he replied softly. You make this school come alive. Her cheeks warmed. For a long moment, they just stood there. Two people carrying quiet pain, slowly learning each other's silence. During break time, Destiny sat on a bench, watching the kids play. Dorothy ran toward her, giggling, with Oliver chasing her playfully. Mommy, she shouted, breathless. Mr. Oliver is my friend. He says my smile is the brightest in the whole school. Destiny laughed softly. Oh, really? Dorothy nodded excitedly, then asked the question Destiny wasn't prepared for. Mommy, is Mr. Oliver going to be my new daddy? Everything inside Destiny froze.
Oliver, who overheard, stopped in place, his eyebrows lifting in shock. Destiny kneeled in front of her daughter. No, baby. Mr. Oliver is just a friend. Dorothy frowned. But he likes you. And he likes me. Destiny felt her throat tighten. She kissed Dorothy's forehead and whispered, Some things take time, my love. When Dorothy ran off again, Destiny finally looked at Oliver. She expected embarrassment or discomfort. Instead, he offered a soft, understanding smile. She's sweet, he said calmly. She just wants to feel safe. Destiny inhaled shakily. Oliver, I don't want you to feel pressured. She's still young. She doesn't understand. He raised a hand gently. Destiny, he said, I'm not going anywhere. Let Dorothy feel safe. And let yourself breathe. Those words wrapped around her like a warm blanket she didn't realize she needed. Later that day, the school hosted a small parent meeting. Destiny didn't expect to see him. Richard. Her ex-husband walked through the school gates wearing a crisp white shirt, sunglasses, and the arrogance she knew too well. Destiny's blood ran cold. He came not for Dorothy, but because the school was partnering with his company for a sponsorship event. The headmistress rushed over. Destiny, please help welcome Mr. Tete. Her hands trembled. Richard smirked when he saw her. Well, look at you. Nursery teacher now? How impressive. Destiny swallowed hard. She felt the old humiliation return like a slap. But before Richard could say more, Oliver stepped beside her calmly. His voice was firm but polite. Is there a problem here? Richard sized him up. And who are you supposed to be? Oliver didn't flinch. A volunteer and a friend. Richard scoffed. Friend? Destiny doesn't need friends. She needs discipline. That's why she lost everything. Destiny closed her eyes, pain rushing back. But Oliver didn't let her drown. He stepped slightly in front of her, not in a controlling way, but protective. Mr. Tete, he said evenly, with all due respect, whatever happened between you two is over. You don't get to belittle her here. Richard's jaw tightened. And what authority do you have to speak to me? Oliver's reply was quiet, but powerful. Human decency. For the first time, Richard had no comeback. Destiny stared at Oliver with disbelief, and something deep and warm unfurled in her chest. Someone finally stood up for her, not to control her, not to shame her, but to protect her dignity. After Richard left, Destiny stepped aside behind the classroom. Her hands were shaking. Tears threatened. Not because of Richard, but because someone finally saw her worth. Oliver approached slowly. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't mean to interfere." Destiny shook her head quickly. "No, thank you. No one has ever defended me before, not even when I was married." Oliver looked at her softly. "You didn't deserve what happened to you, Destiny." She met his eyes, and for the first time, she didn't look away. Her voice came out in a whisper. "I'm scared, Oliver." He nodded. "I know. Healing is slow. But you're not alone in it. Not anymore." Tears slipped down her cheeks. Not from sadness, from relief. Oliver gently handed her a handkerchief. No touching. No rushing. Just presence. Just kindness. And in that fragile moment, Destiny realized something. This man wasn't watering just the school's roots. He was watering hers too.